This custom build has been a huge pain, and I can't even say why. There's no rhyme or reason as to what has gone on with it, but it's had a lot of issues that I finally have under control. The only thing left that I need to fix is either to disable the primer, or I might be able to fix it so that the priming works properly. For some reason, even though this worked totally fine before I took it apart and everything, I actually had to flip the negative and positive on the motor. I don't know why. There's no, again, rhyme or reason as to why that occurred with this. It wasn't an issue previously, but there was no other fix that was making it work. So it definitely works fine now. Because of that, I also had to switch the terminals for the mag. And then what I need to do lastly, when I get around to it, because I'm frustrated with it, is if I switch the primer wires, switch the black and the red, then I should be able to have the primer functioning properly. Right now, of course, it does feed just fine. Like I tell you guys all the time, yes, the priming function is cool, but anytime you pull the trigger, it's running this motor and, feeding the gels. So pulling the trigger for 3 seconds is the same as pulling the primer for 3 seconds, but it is a cool feature. I will give you that. It's just not necessary all the time. So finally got it all working properly, shooting, minus the primer, and got some good FPS out of it. Not quite as high as I was hoping for, but still, with all the problems I've had with it, I'm content with where it's at, and I do like the looks of it. So this is pretty much very custom, custom printed handguard. Again, I print these super strong, like 100% infill, lots of walls. So they're solid plastic, the handguard portion at least. And anytime I do drop stock or any type of stock attachment, same thing. So solid plastic, definitely good stability there. You can see I kind of incorporated some of the same patterns that were on this handguard throughout the blaster, whether that's out here on this piece. This is a recessed fake suppressor. I just put a red cap on the end. I'll show that a little closer in a minute. And then I incorporated those plates throughout as well. This is just a little dummy switch that's actually just glued in that could be popped out if you need to pull the receiver and access the actual fire selector that's on the other side through that hole. You could. Just to pull the gearbox out, you don't need to do that. That would only be if you were taking that fire selector out. Incorporated again, even just through the mag. I like doing stuff like that just to kind of make these really unique and custom. So we take a look at it here, put a nice metal little grip there, hand stop, thumb stop on the bottom, right? So very CQB style, as you can see. You can see that front there, right? And the metal tip goes right to the end of the threads. The threads actually end right about here. Okay, so this is actually recessed significantly. This is really just for looks. I guess it's adding some stability, but this is on here really tight. And again, this was, like I said, 100% kind of custom handguard, and this was an extra receiver I had. So this is made to stay here, right? This isn't made to, you can take it off, but it's actually mounted to the barrel nut on top of having additional stability everywhere. So it's made to just stay super solid and strong, and that's what I was looking for. Again, just to incorporate the design through the back of the stock, and then I did put a little logo back there too. So overall, I definitely like the looks of it, kind of a CQB style, kind of minimalistic when it comes to optics up top. Of course, you could remove this and you have all that rail to put optics on if you wanted to. But for this one, I was going for no optic look. So check back, we'll do a demo. I'll show you. It definitely shoots really well now. Like I just said, the only thing right now is no priming, and I either will be able to fix that or I will just disable it altogether. So not a big issue, just different than, some of the other blasters. In fact, if you talk to some of the really hardcore gel blaster experts from Australia, many times, even on much higher end blasters, they disable primer because it just leads to problems a lot of times. So, but again, like most of you, I do like it. It's a cool feature. Just isn't a necessary feature is all. So comments or questions, post them below. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and make sure you participate in those monthly giveaways, typically towards the end of the month, unless there's a vacation or something I have going on where I may move it to a different part of the month. And you can win over $200 in custom blasters and accessories on those YouTube contests every time. Thanks for your support. Watch the videos, share with your friends.